With nearly a quarter of all Americans giving up landlines and using cell phones only these days, how reliable are cell phones in an emergency? Well, we have the results of a new investigation from our partners at Consumer Reports magazine, which asked, can you really reach 911 when you need it?
What's your location?
That's the first piece of information emergency dispatchers need to know to get help quickly to people like 12-year-old Alexa. When fire broke out in her home, Alexa grabbed her dog and cell phone, ran outside, and got through right away to 911. Fortunately, Alexa was able to give her address quickly. But if the caller can't give the address, dispatchers have to rely exclusively on technology to locate the phone. So which kind of phone, cell or landline, is easier to locate?
More effective is definitely calling from a landline because we get all the information on our screen and we have an exact location.
Landlines, as well as internet phone services called VoIP, are almost always located right away on call center screens. But pinpointing a cell phone is more difficult.
Emergency personnel locate a cell phone through its internal GPS or through cell tower signals. That's less precise than with a landline and could cost precious time.
Another issue when using a cell phone in an emergency, a weak signal can also cost you time.
Our survey found a slightly higher percentage of cell phone users had trouble getting through to 911 on the first try, but nearly all were able to get through with a little more effort.
Our partners at Consumer Reports magazine say cell phones are pretty reliable. Nevertheless, they say consider keeping your landline if you don't get good cell phone reception at home or you live in a remote or rural area where service can be spotty. Also, a landline is better if you're concerned the caller may not be able to give the exact address in an emergency.
That's especially important if you have an elderly relative at home or a young child who may not be able to give their address. And here's an amazing stat. 60% of calls made to 911 in the U.S. last year came from cell phones. That's more than half of all 911 calls. So dispatchers are getting much more used to dealing with them, which is good news to everyone on the road. Brendan?